father told me my life would be blessed with good fortune. I'm married. I was a good wife. And then was judged and shamed by my country. Leave me.
I am risking my life for you.
You are risking my life so you can save your pride.
The penalty for bearing false witness is that you are to be burned alive.
I will not be silent.
What's going on, everyone? The Great Talent here, and today we're going to talk about The Last Duel, directed by Ridley Scott, written actually by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon themselves, as they were starring in this movie. This based on a true events that occurred in the Middle Ages of France, right before the Crusades hit in the late 1300s. It's a movie, folks. It's very much so a movie. It's beautifully shot, beautifully rendered. The cinematography is phenomenal. The set pieces are amazing. The architecture is astounding. It really takes you back to that era. Very beautifully shot. It sounds amazing. I watched it in my surround system with my soundbar and rear speakers and everything. It really comes together with the dual subs. The bass, everything. It really comes together. There are some cool action scenes. I thought that the movie's beautifully shot. Cannot stress that enough. Before we get into it too much, I want to say thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get rolling. So, the plot of this movie, again, takes place in, I think, the late 1300s, or the course from 1380 to like 1390, in between across the decade. You have the movie stars Matt Damon facing off against Adam Driver, the antagonist versus protagonist, with Ben Affleck playing this like High Lord or whatever. And the whole plot is like, this one knight, his name is Sir Jean. He is stricken with like misfortune because like he doesn't have a lot of money. He's collecting debts. His family name is tarnished because of like a traitorous like past for his family reputation. He marries a traitor's daughter, and they just don't have a very ideal life, I guess you could say. So, and during one of these battles, Sir John, he is joined by the squire at the time, Adam Driver, and they became friends, confidants, through war. And it actually turned out that down the line they became friends, good friends. Then they grew apart after Adam Driver's character, his name is Sir Jacques. He's graced with all this fortune, these blessings by the High Lord Pierre, who's played by Ben Affleck. He's giving all these like special preferential treatment just for being, I guess, a close confidant of this High Lord played by Ben Affleck. And he's getting granted a false knighthood and lands and ownership and all this stuff and notoriety. Meanwhile, fucking Matt Damon's character played by Sir John, he has to bust his ass for this shit. And he has like scars, and he's like totally like, you could tell he's like war torn and everything. And so the man's like been through shit. He's been in the shit, and yet this other pretty boy over here doesn't really go to much battles or anything. He's just getting showered with gold, riches, land, women, all this stuff. And so obviously, Sir John is like bitter by Sir Jacques. So anyway, fast forward to like there's just like tension brewing in between the courts and whatever. In the lands and the cities and towns. So, as an act of good faith, Sir John, played by Matt Damon's character. It's called Matt Damon's character goes to see Adam Driver's character to broker a treaty or like a peace dealing between the two lands and whatnot. So during this time in the visit that Matt Damon is staying in Sir Jacques, played by Adam Driver's land. He's in and out. He's always going to collect money, going off to war and everything like that. And in in the midst of this whole thing, like Adam Driver's character begins to like have like a courtship with Matt Damon's wife. They start like they have this like little weird thing together. Like they both know how to read apparently. So and they both are very like cultured and everything. So they have one interaction together, just one fucking interaction together, and immediately Adam Driver's like, "Oh, I'm in love with this woman. I never felt love before." Blah blah blah. So the whole story is like he forces himself on her. He rapes her. He gets her pregnant. This and that. But then there's like a catch-22 because she might be enjoying it. We don't know. But this movie's split up into 3 chapters. Within the first chapter, you get Lady Marguerite's story. Then the second chapter, you get Adam Driver, Sir Jacques' story. In the third chapter, you get the real truth, what really happened. So it's like that movie fucking Clue, like back in the day. This is what could have happened. This is what should have happened. But this is what actually happened. So it's but the thing is, the movie's just way too drawn out, way too long. The movie's almost 2 hours and 40 minutes, folks. Way too long. Clue did this shit in 90 minutes, wrapped it up in 90 minutes. This is fucking like double the length. And it's like, like, can you stop? Just get to where is the chase and how can I cut to it? It's one of the many problems with this movie. The pacing is terrible. It's very off-putting, very lazily paced. The acting is good, but could have been better. I had a big problem with accents in this movie. It's like, I'm sorry, I know you're in France or whatever, but at least try. Like, some of the actors were good. Other ones, like, I don't care if you have a high-born British accent. I get it. You got to portray to the modern audiences, the people like us, the lugheads. But honestly, folks, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, dude, they're like pushing. I think Matt Damon is 50. Ben Affleck's pushing 50. If you can't get an acting coach right now to learn how to speak with an accent, then what fucking good are you? Like, seriously. And other actresses too, were like no accents. I'm like, what the fuck? Some other actors that no accents. I'm like, where are we? Are we in America or are we in fucking Europe? Like, fucking, are we in the middle European fucking nation over here? So I'm like, yeah, that was one of my problems too. And you think a veteran like Ridley Scott directing this movie would be like, okay, can you learn to just speak with an accent? I mean, come on, you don't fucking Dwayne Johnson this. Don't The Rock this movie. Don't fucking just show up and be, yeah, I'm The Rock, and you're gonna deal with whatever fucking accent or voice I command, and which is just my own voice. But anyway, other than that, like, the movie, besides its pacing and like performance issues aside, the plot, like I said, it's just, it starts off promising. It evolves into Act 2. It gets a little bit boring and dull. The final duel in the movie between Matt Damon and Adam Driver is pretty fucking meaty, though. It's very brutal, very gritty, down to the fucking punches. I'm not going to spoil anything. You just say it didn't go how I expected it to go. And if it would have went the other way, I think it would have led to a way more interesting ending than how it actually happened in real life, according to recorded history. If it would have went to the place I wanted to see it go, it would have been like, wow, this movie ended on such a fucking crazy down note. It's like, wow, I could have actually seen that happen in history because of the way the world works. Back then, the way the world used to work, past tense, the way the world worked back then in the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, where it was like, damn, I can see people going to this extreme length when, you let God, quote unquote, decide the fate in a battle, But it didn't go that way. It ended kind of nice. It ended kind of good, I guess you could say, in a very happy, bittersweet ending, I guess you could say. It's just very confusing to the plot too. Is like it tries to throw you off a little bit, but it's like, did she get raped, for example, or did she like it? We don't know. She wasn't really. She was saying yes, but then no, and then no means yes. Like, it was very confusing. And then believe it or not, folks, I understand rape is bad. And Adam Driver, like, in a couple of the scenes, like, he tried explaining to this woman that he was in love with, like Matt Damon's wife, like, going, look, dude, like, look, lady, I love you. Like, I see, like, you have affection for me. Like, I understand, like, you're married or whatever. And it was clear that she wasn't being pleased by her husband in bed and, like, other ways. Like, her husband was good to her, but he was very, like, you could tell, like, he was, like, respectful, but at the same time, he was very condescending to his wife. Adam Driver, like, yeah, he was a ladies' man or whatever, but, like, he's like, look, I'll whatever is mine is yours. I will give you the world. Like, just consider this. And she didn't. And back then, like, when a woman pushes back, like, that's how men back then fucking reacted. These these men who think they're noble, think they're the shit pretty much, and they can do whatever the fuck they want if a woman says no. No, it's not right at all. It's fucking wrong. All I'm saying is that maybe they should have had a real conversation about it instead of forcing himself on her. Maybe they could have sat down, had a cup of tea, and been like, look, this is how I feel. Just give me something in return. Don't fucking force choke me out or fucking do the fucking Kylo Ren bullshit. But anyway, that's besides the point. Is the movie any good? That's why you're here. And honestly, folks, I'm sorry Ridley Scott may have done this and all. He's done other movies. He hasn't hit a lot of home runs in the late days after Gladiator was made and that won Best Picture. But I mean, honestly, folks, I know he did Alien, Gladiator, all those good movies. Even Blade Runner. But honestly, folks, truthfully, I didn't enjoy the movie as much as I thought I was going to. It was if I had to score this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, just because of the lore and the dialogue, and not the performances in the dialogue, just the actual way they used to speak back then, the set pieces, the architecture, the way it was shot, the sound, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's a fair movie. Doesn't really do anything to shock and awe you as much as you think. There's a lot of fake outs going on here. You think oh my God, like this is going to happen, then it totally doesn't. And you're like, wow, I wanted to see this happen, but it didn't. Okay, you subverted my expectations, yes, but you did so in such a way where it's like, I wasn't really feeling it. I kind of wish you didn't subvert my expectations. Just let me expect the expected, let it play out, and let me have a decent, enjoyable movie. No, they kind of just went the other way. I get it. It's how it happened in history. Quote, I did quote there. It happened in history. But I digress. I think that it could have been executed a lot better. All of the pieces were there. They just could have jumbled them up. Again, a lot of problems with these movies. The pieces are there, but they just don't put them in the right order to let them play out the way that it should. They should have altered history. I'm sorry. In this movie, yes, based on true events that were altered. Just say that. Based on altered true events. Bam. The end. Just maybe mix it up a little. Because you know what? Sometimes, folks, history is fucking boring. And you got to accept that. So, yeah. So anyway, with that being said, that is my review of The Last Duel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will catch you guys on all come on, horsey. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks as always for stopping by.